Hey guys, what's up? It's Jeff, and I just got home from a very good day. I was doing body work, I was doing hypno, I was doing card readings, and I was so excited to come home because actually quite a few of you have been asking what's my take on tarot numerology, and I want to do a video on that eventually, but I really got inspired to really get to the camera when I was home because I saw a hashtag about swords so negative. And there's a couple people talking Ink and Flame and then a Nat TJ or something. I wasn't really sure how that was. But anyway, Ink and Flame is my new contact. We've been kind of going back and forth lately on the comments, having a really good time. And I just wanted to sort of follow up on her, I don't know, I guess open question about what's your take on the swords and why do they appear so negative? She's actually learning the RWS. And if you see all this smoke, guys, that's because I'm home and I'm just burning 2 incense sticks right here, man. I got 2 Nag Champas. So if you see the smoke, everything is fine. Calm down. Nothing is on fire. Very, very excited to be here. But just know that I'm enjoying my home, my beautiful patio. I put in a fountain over there. It's just so cozy with the water noises going on. So anyway, before I get too distracted, let me get back to why I'm doing this video. Number one, as a behavioral therapist and as a cognitive therapist, being a hypnotherapist, and a spiritual consultation coach with using the tarot cards, I love whenever swords comes in, and it's based primarily on the numerology, but then depending on whatever deck I happen to be using, whatever sword comes up just adds to the layer of information that I happen to get from my initial hit with the numerology, which is why I wanted to talk about the numerology that my structure is, and also bringing in the traditional RWS imagery of the sword's suit. All right. So that being said, I love whenever I get a swords because the basic structure of how our thoughts work is that they're tied so intimately with our physiology, with our emotions, okay? And I talk about this in a lot of videos, but our thoughts truly are the only source and symptom of this free will that we believe that we have, but so few of us actually exhibit it and practice it. Our freedom of our thoughts is what dictates our life, and that our particular reframe on whatever we see in our life is using this sword energy to define for us basically all the neutral events in our life. Therapeutically, what that means is everybody is interpreting the same neutral events in the world as how it affects them. They're doing the label of negative or positive. And the best therapeutic tool that certified hypnotherapists use is the magic of the reframe. Looking at the same situation in a different way so that it feels different to you. Not lying about it, not telling yourself fantasies, not ignoring it, but let's find a different perspective so that we can look at the exact same scenario and why you're so pissed, angry, depressed, feeling despair, you're feeling revengeful, just grief. Let's look at this same situation a little bit differently so that we feel better about it. Whenever we do that, we affect our cup suit, right? New neuropeptides are produced by our brain into our body so that we act then differently in the world based on our usage of our free will by choosing a different thought that feels better. Now, I don't want to make this video about how I use the emotional guidance scale, but I'm going to encourage you to look through my list if any of this sounds interesting to you. Look through my list of videos of how I use the emotional guidance scale. You can also get a copy of it at www.tattooedspirit.com. I didn't create it. It's a list of kinesiologically measured, quantifiable emotions that you get stronger physically. Your body produces stronger chemicals so that you're not weakened the more you reach for a better feeling thought using your sword's quality of choosing your thoughts. Now, that being said, I'm going to start to blend my passion for numerology and how I understand it, how I use it. And if you don't agree with this is not how you do it. You don't need to adapt it or just say that I'm wrong. It's just not the way that you want to do it. This has served me and my clients very well for many, 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 many years. And so I want to share that with you because anytime I hear someone say swords are difficult and they're negative, I just want to say, from my perspective, they're beautiful. So let me share them with you. One more note, if you are using a tarot deck where all the images of the swords are pretty hard to not interpret as negative, you got to get rid of that deck, man, because it's going to influence your readings. It's going to influence your communication of wherever you think you're getting this knowledge, this wisdom, this guidance from, into a negative interpretation. That's why I love Pixie's artwork, with my interpretations of how I've been inspired by Rachel Pollack, to just bring the most positive aspect of any scenario that you could possibly find in cards Ace through 10, which we're going to discuss right now. Because the masters, the people who are the happiest, the people that no matter what happens to them, they know that they're in charge and nothing's going to defeat them and deflate them. They have the right perspective that I hope that you can garner from how I look at these cards as well, especially in a reading. You want to leave someone feeling empowered from the same situation where another reader, from using a negative deck, using terrible imagery, would leave them feeling despair, disappointment, doom, feeling like they're powerless. That is not at all my worldview. That's not how the world works for me because of my belief systems. So here we go with the aces. We all know it. We all love it. Aces are the beginnings and the base quality of the suit. It's the suit of thought, our mental activity. It's straight up. I love that. I just said in another video that I recorded earlier, when I see an ace with a sword facing down, it just kind of makes me cringe a little bit, because aces straight up for me means a brand new way of thinking about something, a brand new scenario that's going to bring a brand new perspective on your life. The only other time you see the ace straight up in the RWS Pixie artwork is the Justice card, which means complete personal responsibility in what is right and what's working for you, and also the Queen of Swords, which we're not going to talk about the court cards. I adore the court cards. That's a whole nother video. If you want that, tell me. I'd love to talk about the court cards. But this swords card straight up means a brand new thought, a brand new way to go about a new perspective in a situation that's going to lend to brand new results. All right, I love it. All twos are about choices, balance, and unions. Here we can have an idea, depending on your spread position, about choosing between two different perspectives on something. Obviously, the unions can be about bringing two different ideas into one solid whole. Okay, and about balance, maybe you're putting more emphasis on the idea that you have options rather than the idea that you need to make a choice. Twos for me, I love to see this card. It's completely self-empowered. There's no one forcing her to have this blindfold on. There's no one forcing her to hold the swords in this awkward position. She's uncomfortable in this position because she's not making a choice, she's not making balance, and she's not creating a union of her different sort of thoughts on a particular subject that's going to affect her reality. If I see a two of swords, I'm a happy camper, man. I am a happy camper. We got the threes. Threes for me mean the intensity of the quality of the suit. The quality of the suit is your mental activity, your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts, the kind of frequencies that you're changing in your reality by the thoughts that you're thinking. This is just an ordinary experience of just pain. This is exactly what it is. This is an ordinary human experience of being alive. The positive aspect of this card is that the more pain that you initially feel, the more capable you are to have felt love that is then lost, bringing on this pain. The magic of whenever this card comes in reversed, for me, my interpretation, is that this is whenever this pain begins to turn into suffering. After a period of grief, loss, change, heartache, once you would be adjusted to that pain, if it stretches on too long, this is a loving message from your higher self, or wherever you think you get this information from by viewing these cards, that pain is turning into suffering. You've got to find another way to look at this heartache so that it can then be transformed. It can then be transmuted. It can then be worked on neurolinguistically or through the hypnosis session to just kind of basically get over it, because it's time to move on. So when I see this card, I don't freak out. This is not a negative card. This means that you have a high capacity for love that has been lost. And when you begin to suffer from that pain, that's a different story. We'll do a little bit of therapy on that. I've done it dozens of times. How about fours? For me, meaning structure and foundation. Now, I always bring up my dad anytime I talk about the four being structure and foundation, and in particular of this Four of Swords. My dad's the most mechanical person that I know. He can fix any car, build any building. He knows how things work. He actually built half of our house in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And whenever he came up to a problem, an issue with how a beam was going to go, or what kind of the concrete was going to go where, or where the wall's going to, anything like that, he would do exactly what this cat did. Find the structure and foundation of the mental field and just rest, literally sleep on it, wake up, and then have this fresh new idea, perspective on how to move forward. This is what Einstein did, is he tried to figure out a problem. He would sit in the middle of a room. He would hold a spoon. I believe this is Einstein, so please don't come down on me if I'm wrong here. It could be Einstein. I'm getting some confirmation from a light flashing. I love when that ever happens. Okay, and then whenever he would just fall asleep, his finger would let loose of the spoon. It would hit the hardwood floor. He would wake up, and whatever that thought was, it sort of was a reset. So this Four of Swords, bring it all day long for me. It's the best thing to use in therapy. It's the most wonderful card in a consultation, depending on where position it comes in, what's above it, what's below it. This is fantastic. This is like the Hangman. This is like you don't have to do anything. Just give it a frickin' rest and allow the structure and foundation of your thoughts to organize themselves, which is why they're all organized really, really nice, okay? Fives for me. Fives get a bad rap. They really, really do. My worldview is that anything that you label as negative or bad is because you're putting that label on it. You can always search. Your spirit, your higher self, is always lending you forward to more growth, which sometimes you have to let go of the past. This Five of the Sword basically means you got your ass kicked so that you can learn some lessons. It reminds you that you're more related to those particular characters. There's some shade in this. Be a little bit more sharp now with your thinking, being a little bit more clued into the signs around you. It's actually inferring a little bit more trust to your intuition because your thoughts really aren't getting you there. This is a wonderful spiritual card, the idea that you can rely not so much on your thinking and what's logical, and to what then are you feeling about this situation. Bring me the Five of Swords, guys, in the therapeutic setting all day long. I don't find anything negative about this. If your partner, and this comes up in the partner kind of spread, this means that, you know what, let's get you to the deciding point where you realize, have a meeting, a face-to-face, where you can know that this person is on your side or has his or her own intentions. What could be wrong about figuring out whether the person you're with is either going to be a long-term relationship or more like a seasonal or an overnight type of situation, if you know what I mean? How about sixes? What the hell is so scary about sixes in the sword suit, guys? I have no idea. For me, sixes across the board are gifts, communication, and harmony within the nature of the suit. This card is generally considered moving into smoother waters. This is about the communication for me, more so than gifts, more so than harmony within the nature of the suit. I love this card because you're going to get where you're going by not communicating. That's why these characters are so isolated. They're not in communion. They're not sharing. They're not regarding each other. Those swords are serving a purpose as they are. They're keeping the water outside of the boat. You can choose to rock the boat, pull the swords out, and communicate whatever you're feeling about, but then you got to look at the other cards to decide, is that going to be the best decision that's going to serve you the most? This is slow and steady passage. Keep your secrets. Someone may be keeping a secret from you, and you know what? Use the other cards to decide how negative this is going to be for you. I don't see anything negative in this card, guys. I love it. It has served my clients well for 20 years. How about this wonderful seven? Sevens across the board for me. Victory, success within the nature of the suit. I say this in every video with numerology. It's Vegas. It's 777. You see it most clearly in the major arcana whenever you arrange them in the grid, which is the only way I believe anyone can possibly learn the majors. Cards 1 through 7, that's the Chariot. That's the mastery of the worldly influences. The second line, the card's strength through temperance. Temperance being the next seventh card in the second line. That's mastery of the intrapersonal issues that you got going on with you that whole second line is dealing with. How about the world card in the last line? That's the seventh card in the last line. That is victory and success and all the universal issues that are helping behind the scenes to get you where you want to go in your life, regardless of whether you want to acknowledge it or not. When I see this card, I don't have any sort of shadiness. There may be some cleverness, there may be some wittiness, there may be some doing something not behind anyone's back. It's a little bit sneaky. It's almost kind of like a lighthearted joke, because if this was something sinister, it'd be happening in the dark. It'd be happening in the night. Pixie's artwork, I think, nailed this. Okay? Absolutely loved it. And you're not even being fully effective. You're not even getting all 7. You're just getting 5. In fact, what's actually happening is that you're pulling the 5 of swords away. You're actually clearing the way, which is, I believe, the true message of why this is a 7. You're getting the 5 of swords, which is generally, as we just talked about, what's considered negative of the suit, is all the 5s being the losses. Did we talk about the 5? Oh my God, I think we did. Did we skip over that? I might not have even pulled that out. 4. I just went 4. I skipped right over, man. Guys, I went to 4. I've been skipping around. I don't even have the 5, or I don't even have that other number. That's all right. That's all right. I'll have to make another video then. Then what are we talking about now? Here we're talking about 8. I didn't talk about the 5 of swords. No, yes, I did. I forgot what I talked about. Look how nice and spooky and dark it's getting, guys. I love it so much. How about 8s? All 8s across the board are about movement or the lack of movement. Give me this card all day long whenever someone feels about a relationship, someone feels about their job situation, because there's nothing holding this woman back other than her own negative, self-defeating thoughts. That is what we work on therapy. This is why people come back, because we remove those swords, those self-limiting beliefs. If this comes up in a relationship card, it is past experiences coming up, showing up again, realizing that it's not about this particular situation. It's only a mirror to what you kind of got going on before. All right? 8s, movement or lack of movement within the nature of the suit. This clearly is lack of movement. Of course, endless talk about how loose her bandages are, how she could easily pick up, and how easily she can be removed from all these negative thoughts that she is thinking. Basically, if you want to keep it really, really basic, that's how it is. How about 9? 9s, for me, are about the abundance of the quality of the suit. The quality of the swords is thoughts, thinking, deciding, evaluating, pros and cons. This is just too much going on. This is the abundance of the quality of swords. Clearly you got this. If you want some real magic, real inspiration, some real insights, compare what the 9th position is in the Tree of Life with the Kabbalah. Oh my goodness, school. We're going to keep it really, really simple for now, guys. Look at this. The 9 just means there's nothing holding you up. It's just completely a suggestion, a loving suggestion that you have to organize the way you're looking at it, because the actual decision you're trying to make is not causing the pain that you're experiencing, the discomfort that you're experiencing. It is how you are perceiving it. So get out, find a therapist, find some help, pull some cards in a different way so that you see this 9 as the most takes the pressure off of you. All right? The world is how you perceive it. It'll support you every single time. Consciously, unconsciously, it will reflect to you your inner thoughts, your unknown thoughts. And if you see something, you can identify it as something I have within me. You change yourself. You see a hypnotherapist. You work deep with the cards and with many kind of imagery stuff. I want to talk more about imagery. And then you remove the sword so that you can rest well. If 9s are the abundance of the quality of the suit, all 10s are the excess of the quality of the suit. And this has to do in almost every single case that I've seen in decades of working with this most fantastic of cards, is that it has nothing to do with you. It is everybody else's voice. I notice the hands of that particular character. It's the hands of the Hierophant. It's the hands of the institutions, the teachers, the people that you set up for yourself or that were set up for you to be the authority to say, this is how your life should work. This is what you should do with your life. This is how relationships are supposed to look. This is what you're supposed to look like. This is the roles that you're supposed to do in your life. And when you have everybody else's crap coming in on you like that hand, this is what happens. It's the excess of the quality of this suit, and these almost always have to do with somebody else. All right, I love doing this video. I love combining numerology with my beloved sword suit. Please don't let any deck that is so overly what seems to be used negative to you misguide you into thinking that there's not incredible support, unbelievable love, guidance, and supreme divine wisdom whenever you can interpret these fantastic swords cards. All right, now I lost all my light. I got my couple candles. I still got my incense. I might go in there, might open a bottle of wine for myself. I might practice my guitar a little bit. But I want to thank all of you for watching, and I'll link below the videos that sort of initiated this conversation, and I would love to get your take on it. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I don't give a crap whether you agree with me, but I can tell you therapeutically, this is how I work the cards is what has worked for me because it's my belief system, and I want you to get a solid, your own belief system so that the universe can prove to you that you're right about whatever you choose to believe. All right, use your free will. Like, subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell if you find any value in this, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next video. This has been great. I kind of wish I had my court cards, and I'm not even sure if I hit that one card that I thought that I missed, so if I did, I'm sorry, what can I say? It's been a long day.